The New York Mets have officially broken me. I am not going to defend this team anymore. I refuse to do it. I absolutely refuse to defend this team anymore. I've remained one of the more positive Mets fans. If you look on my channel, if you look back at what I've been discussing, if you look back at the things that I've been saying about everybody from the top all the way down to the bottom, I've been defending this franchise a lot. Okay? I refuse to do it. I can't even sleep. I can't sleep because this team has put me in such hell that I can't even put my head on a pillow right now out of pure frustration and watch the sheep fly over my head as I count myself to sleep. I can't do it. What do I think the best method is? I'm going to watch Carlos Mendoza's post-game press conference, and you're going to watch it along with me. How does that sound? We're going to do this together because doing this will help me understand what an idiot I've been defending this franchise this year. And for a long time, I was doing pretty well with this. For a long time, I was doing pretty well defending Soto, defending Lindor, defending Pete, defending Mendoza, defending Stearns, defending the dog crap logjam they have in the infield, defending Nimmo, defending the pitching. How much more can I sit here and do with this team? I can't do it anymore. So what's the best way to cure insanity? To stop doing the same things over and over again. It's getting me into trouble now. Mentally, the team has broken me. And you don't know when the team's going to break you until they actually do it. And tonight was that case for me. Tonight was the bottom line for me. Tonight is when I washed my hands and I said, you know what? They don't deserve it. They don't deserve the defense. They don't deserve me acting like an ass, arguing with people. They don't deserve anything of that nature anymore from any fan. What am I going to do? I'm going to go to the game still. I'm still going to go to a couple games this year. Why? Because I'm stupid. I admit it. I'm nuts. I'm a glutton for punishment. I'm an absolute glutton. I can't get myself together. I can't get my bearings straight because this team has screwed with me all season. I'm going to rattle off a few things first before we get to listen to Carlos Mendoza repeat himself again and again and again. The same thing that we've been hearing all the time. Since June 13th, the Mets are 19-33. 19-33. That is a .365 winning percentage. That puts you on par with the White Sox. That puts you on par with the Rockies. That puts you on par with the worst of the worst in Major League Baseball. 19 blown leads, the most in baseball since that span. 19. Do you know how hard that is to do? Do you understand how hard that is to do? Blow 19 leads? It's really hard to do. The starters have given you the fewest innings in baseball at 232 innings. And their bullpen has given you the second most. I'm shocked there's another team that's given you more bullpen innings than the Mets. Absolutely shocked. I can't defend them anymore. I look even worse when I try to defend this team, and I just won't do it anymore. So like I said, together, we're going to watch Carlos Mendoza repeat himself over and over. And if I had a drinking game, I would tell you every time he says we have the talent on this team, take a shot. It's Friday night. Take a shot of whatever you have. Every time he says that we have the talent on this team. I haven't watched this yet. I can't even sleep because of the frustration. So let's watch this together. That doesn't count. That was the guy asking the question. One. All right, so I love Carlos Mendoza. I'm telling you, I love Carlos Mendoza, manager. He's level-headed. I appreciate what he brings to the ball club. I love the relationship that he has with the players, with ownership, blah blah blah, all that good stuff. Every single post game is the exact same thing. If you're looking for rah-rah, if you're looking for him to pound the table, if you're looking for him to throw a microphone at one of the reporters, that's not going to happen. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with my manager remaining level-headed the way Carlos Mendoza remains level-headed. Because I think he keeps that mentality when he's in the dugout, for the most part. But a lot of these questions and answers have become the same exact thing over and over and over. And when you're winning, you tolerate it. When you're losing, it becomes frustrating and it becomes annoying. I completely understand why Mets fans have reached a certain level of frustration with Carlos Mendoza. I get it. I'm not there yet. Will I get there? Possibly. This team's driving me crazy. They're driving me crazy. Everything that happens during this losing streak, the June swoon that's carried over into August and will carry over into September, every button that's being pressed is the wrong button. Mendoza is following the book on some nights to a T, and he's losing games following the book to a T. Bringing your seventh inning guy, bringing your eighth inning guy, bringing your closer. You lose, you lose, you lose again, again, again. No matter what button he's pressing, even when it's the right buttons, they're still not winning games. Is that the sign of a team that's just broken, has less talent than what their payroll says and what their general manager says and what Carlos Mendoza says? I don't know. I know a lot of guys have underperformed this season. I know a lot of guys have not played to the back of their baseball card this season. At the end of the year, when you look at a lot of these stats, you're going to see some of the stats match up perfectly with what everybody's career numbers have been. You're going to look back at the end of the year, you're going to see Francisco Lindor hit 30 home runs, drive in 110, and hit 265. And you're going to say he had an outstanding season, when in reality, it's been 2 months out of the 4 for Francisco Lindor that he's produced. You'd like to see him stretch that out over a 6-month season. He doesn't do it. Alonso, you're going to see him hit 35 plus, drive in 120 runs, hit 260, 270 even. You're going to see Soto. You might even see Soto hit 40 home runs this year. You're going to look back at the baseball card. And when you look back at the baseball card, you're going to say, wow, Juan Soto hit 40 home runs for the Mets. He must have had an amazing season. Not the case. Not the case. Not the case. Let's see what Carlos Mendoza has to say next, because this is very intriguing. And I like that answer by Mendoza because he's walking the tightrope there of trying to say, no, Helsley's just got to get the damn job done. Excuse me. He's walking that thin line because he wants to just say, no, we brought in Ryan Helsley, all-star closer. He's here for the 8th inning. Figure it the hell out. He wants to say that. You could see it in his eyes. Mendoza wants to say that, but he can't say that. He can't say that. We could say it. We're not managing the Mets. If Carlos Mendoza had some truth serum inside of him, he would say, absolutely not. That is a stupid question. We brought him here to get 3 outs in the 8th inning to set up Edwin Diaz. That's his job. And he's not getting it done. Simple as that. Ryan Helsley has been the biggest disappointment of the deadline for this team. And it's not even close. Not even close. See what else Carlos has to say. Talent. They got the talent. I completely agree with what Mendoza says there. These guys are pissed off that they're not performing well. You can see it in their faces. What he is right about is that this is all we have right now. You're calling up Nolan McLean tomorrow to pitch against Seattle. The juice and the buzz and the excitement of that, for me, is long gone. It's long gone. I'm not excited about him anymore. Here's the script for tomorrow. If I was to rub a crystal ball and I told you, give me your best guess for tomorrow. What would be your best guess of what would happen tomorrow? Nolan McLean will pitch 5 innings, give up 1 run. He will leave the game with the Mets up 2-1. They will blow it in the 6th. They'll come back in the 6th and tie it. And in the 7th, 8th, and 9th, the offense will go limp. And then the rest of the game, Seattle will put the runs on that they're supposed to put on, shut down the game, and end all hope for the Mets tomorrow. If you gave me that sort of script, I would not be surprised. Tonight absolutely broke me. And you can't tell another fan what their breaking point is. My breaking point is different than anybody else's breaking point. A lot of people chose to see this team as fraudulent in May and June, even July. I chose to wait longer because I'm ignorant. I'm a glutton. I wanted to see more pathetic baseball before I deemed this team pathetic. I had to see more, and I'm seeing more, and I got my wish, and this is what I get. And to think that I sat here defending all of these guys, I sat here defending them all because I fell for the trap of there's 80 games left, there's 70 games left, there's 100 games left, there's 50 games left. Now there's 40 games left, and the Mets are barely hanging on by a thin hair to a postseason spot. They're barely hanging on right now. The second they fall out of the wild card spot, you think people are panicking now. It's going to be even worse once they are officially knocked out of a postseason spot, whether that's tomorrow or Sunday or even Monday. Because after Monday, it's 16 straight bowl games now. 16 straight games, and you don't have more than one starter who could go past the fifth inning. And the one starter you had to go past the fifth inning, he officially is showing you he might be gassed and that he can't go more than 5 innings. Now you built a bullpen of guys that are going to be overworked and overtaxed, just like you overworked and overtaxed the previous bullpen guys. Do you think Brazoban is that bad? Or do you think the Mets using him 3-4 times a week completely caught up to him at some point? I think it's the latter. I'm not saying Brazoban's great, but he fell off a cliff instantly. Come on, Carlos, finish it up. Let me hear something big here. No shit. That's true. I think that's it pretty much. I'm not going to continue the full post game, but you're not really missing. You're not getting a lot out of Mendoza here. He's kind of just repeating the same things over and over. What he says inside the locker room, we don't know. We'll never know. Whatever he's saying is not working. But if it is working, it's only working with one specific group at one specific time. It doesn't work with multiple groups at the same time. Because now the offense is starting to come along, and the starting pitching sucks, and the bullpen sucks, and they're just giving away leads like it's nothing. But the Mets have broken me. I've reached this limit now. I'm not defending them anymore. I will watch the remaining 40 games with expectations of making the postseason. I will cheer. I will get pissed when they lose. When they win, I'll cheer. Same thing. Doesn't stop. You don't stop being a fan. What I will stop is defending the team now. I've defended them for 122 games. That's enough. That's math, right? 160, 40. I've defended them for 122 games. Game number 122 was my very last game defending this team this season. I refuse to do it anymore. Let's see what happens tomorrow when McClain makes his debut. There'll be a little excitement in the ballpark for that. Hopefully, they could win a goddamn game. If they can't, then maybe we get another one of these videos tomorrow, because the frustration level is building with this team, and it's not fun anymore. They've sucked the life out of the room. They've sucked the fun out of the room. Any good vibes we had in April and May are completely gone. So let's see what happens tomorrow with the young ace coming on the mound. Hopefully lights a fire under this team's ass, and we pull out a win tomorrow. Just a win just to shut up the Devils. Shut up everybody. Shut me up. Just win tomorrow. Just win tomorrow. Please, Mets.